Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Vikings season 6, episode 15, the middle of the second half of the season. Which means, for me, in my opinion, that someone is gonna die, that something big, important is gonna happen during this episode. If we are following, the rhythm that they are taking for this second half of the season, it's one episode someone is dying, one episode a break. One episode someone is dying, one episode a break. We had Bjorn and Asa dying. Normally during this episode someone is gonna die, and because of the fact that this is a middle episode, someone important is gonna die. Which one is gonna be? I don't know. I'm not gonna place my bet, on any of them. I don't want that. Even if I said it a lot after the episode 11, which left me, such a mess. I cried so much when Bjorn died. I was not expecting that, not so soon, that I'm really hopeless. That's a good term for that, hopeless. I really think that everyone is gonna die now. I had 3 wishes for this second half of the season before the episode 11. It was Bjorn surviving, all of the brothers being alive, and the return of Floki. Episode 11, Bjorn died. I think now that all of the brothers are gonna die also. I really think that Ube is gonna die because he's saying too many stuff about, about death, about I have to do that, I have to accomplish my destiny, and then I would be, over with that, with my destiny, like I can die. The thing that they took of him during the trailer, it was something like everyone has to die. Ube is gonna die. I'm like, that's almost already written, Ube is gonna die. I think also that Ivar or Fitzurk is gonna die. During the episode 13, the writers put that scene, created that moment to remind to the viewers that this is not an healthy relationship between the brothers, that they have a dark background, and that maybe at the end they can kill each other. Maybe there is something right there because of their dark background, because of the fact that their relationship was never so easy. Maybe we can have consequences about that now, still now, even if their relationship evolved since then. So I'm like, maybe one of them is gonna kill the other one. We'll see! And for Floki, it's episode 15 and there is no return or no sign of Floki who can return. So I'm really like, Floki is the running gag of this show and he's gonna appear maybe during the last episode, during the last minutes. Being Floki like, I'm there! I'm hopeless. The last episode was great. I watched it this morning. It was a break episode, like I said, with the rhythm that they took, at least for this 5 first episode. We had nothing really happening, for Ivar, Fitzurk, this Russian narrative arc on the story. They managed to escape and to save Igor. Ivar talked with Katya, saying to her, I love you, whoever you are. He talked also with Igor. He didn't say it, but it was a conversation, I love you, I care about you, and all. So that was great to see Ivar like that, and it's also a way to insist on the fact that he's really involved with this Russian guy, just because of the fact that it's a strategic thing to do for him, because he wants his land back, and because of all of that, but he's also involving his feelings with this person. He loves Katya, he loves Igor, he wants to protect them now, so that's gonna have an importance for the rest of the season, in my opinion. The fact that maybe at the end he's not gonna get back really to what he wanted at the beginning, when he began that strategy things with the Russian, he had maybe something else on mind, and right now maybe it evolved. we'll see. Witzer, we didn't see him, which is wrong. He is one of Ragnar's son. I want to see him in each episode and having his own narrative arc. I fought for that during entire seasons. I'm so glad that during this season 6, during the first part and right there during the second part also, if it's not for the last episode, he has his own narrative arc, his own development, even if it's a bad one, even if he killed Lagertha and all of that. I love the fact that they are writing something already for Witzer. So I want to see Witzer back. So yes, nothing really happened right there. We had Ube. Ube. That's it. He's on his new land, which is not the Golden Land, which is Greenland, which means for me that this is Groenland. In France, we are calling it like that. He's not gonna stay there. He has to leave that land, discover the Golden Land. The seer said the same. He said something, the seer, about deaths coming, hearing death's voices and all. He needs to leave, but how can he leave now that they all settled, you know, on this new land? They all have their own territories. Even if this is such a bad land and this is gonna be so difficult and all, seems worse than Iceland, and they are already fighting, they are already against each other, you know, human issues that we had on Iceland that I hated when we discovered Iceland. So I'm already mad and annoyed by that part of the story. Even if it's interesting, it's so frustrating for me to watch that. It's really frustrating. And now that the world, you know, ended on that part of the beach, you know, which the snake owns, that's gonna be another issue because he doesn't want to share any food or any fuel. That was Sander. So really, Ube, if you were waiting for a sign to not trust that fucking snake, which I'm saying since the beginning, even if during one episode I doubted, you know, I was like, oh, maybe I can give you a second chance, because it was the first time that he was asking for a second chance, that he was showing the fact that he had regrets and he wanted to repair his fault. So I was like, okay, if you are not doing anything wrong, I can give you that second chance. But right there, by saying that you don't want to share that thing and by saying all of what you said, you're not making me trust you, and I'm not as open than I was to maybe give you a second chance. No matter what, he has to leave, you know, Ube, he has to leave that place. Maybe he's not gonna live with all of the persons with who he arrived, but maybe he can live still with Torvill. And we have Gunnhild, the Queen of Kattegat, but not because of herself, because of Harald being the king and deciding to marry Björn's former wives. Really, Harald, you wanted Björn's life, that's it, you have it. You have the throne, you have the power, you have the wives, but you can't buy and you can't claim the image, you know, the legitimacy of Björn to be the king, and also the respect that everyone had for Björn. This is not something that you can claim. That's your own issue to deal with. For Gunnhild, she was forced to marry him in a way. She didn't have really another choice if it was not to be forgotten, you know, and to have to go somewhere else. I don't think that Harald would have accepted her staying right there in Kattegat, because it would have been a threat, you know, for him. So I can understand that, why she decided to marry him no matter what. Same for Ingrid. Even if Harald raped her, she accepted to marry him because, again, she doesn't have another choice. She's not a warrior, she's not a cheerleader, you know. She's not someone with power. Not a lot of persons are ruling for her. She has to accept. If she's not accepting, Harald is not gonna accept her to live with maybe his kid, so she would be captured, you know, she would be a prisoner. The role of wife is easier for her. But that's sad, that's really sad. And we had Eric deciding, finally, in which side he's gonna be. He's gonna be on Harald's side, he's gonna be his bodyguard. because he killed Skane, who offered him to take the throne and to kill Harald. Eric, I didn't think that he wanted to be king, but I saw that he wouldn't want Skane or Harald to be king, so I was not sure of what he was gonna do. I was surprised by that decision during that moment, but at the end I think that Eric wants Bjorn's legacy to survive. So for him, I think that Harald is the better choice for that, and also because it's a way to have Guinevere as a wife. This is episode 15. I think that someone is gonna die, someone important. I said during my intro of the last episode that I didn't want Harald to be king, but if he had to be king, it was gonna last one episode, and one episode after that he was gonna be killed. So maybe Harald is gonna be killed during this episode? Someone like him, you know, someone as big, you know, as a character than him is gonna die. Again, because of the rhythm of this second part of the season, because this is the middle episode. Or, if I want to be optimist, something else big is gonna happen, but something exciting, something really great. What can happen like that, really great? The return of Loki, obviously, I'm gonna rule for that. Oleg dying. Or flashbacks with Bjorn Lagertime right now. But this is not exciting, this is great, beautiful, but this is sad. That can't be considered as exciting. Okay, I'm gonna watch this episode 15. This is gonna be, yes, the last one that I'm gonna watch today. So let's go. Yes, I have a tissue prepared, just in case. You know, I was like, someone can die. Did you prepare yourself? Yes, I prepared myself. Let's go. I need to stop talking.
You don't understand. Shadow will kill anyone on his path.
I think so, and the fact that
Kill your family, challenge
you can't do anything.
He killed Floki.
No, because Floki is not dead.
Everyone knew that. Shadow had to deal with them.
Shh. You should have killed the guy a long time ago. I said it, you know, before this journey and all, he made me doubt, you know, with his regrets and all, like, we have to repair our fault. Like, okay, you're all going, all of the little group. I'm afraid you're going out for battle, obviously, and you're all preparing for a wedding. A double wedding.
You don't know anything about me.
About your intentions right now, for sure. I have trouble to read you.
You sold me once. You don't remember? Of course you don't.
What do you want me to say?
Ooh!
If you step foot on my land, you will have made your own death.
Listen to him, he means it! Go away, go back!
You know how dangerous your man is.
You will have washed ashore on my land. You have to share it. Have you lost your mind?
Obviously!
The gods have chosen me.
Why are you asking the question?
I am king here.
You're king here now? Since when? Really, humanity at its worst. Humans killing each other for food because they are not able to share. Why? I want to protect Hotel now? Okay, I just discovered that. Torvi! Wait, oh! Torvi! Not you, my dear. I won't accept to lose you. Yes, leave the place. Your son died or is really injured? Oh Babe, you want to save your people from this madness, no matter what.
Don't be afraid. All shall be well.
Ah! I love that you're leaving the place, but like that?
I'm the king of Greece.
Oi, oi, oi! You're king of a land without people. You're king of nothing, my dear. My dear, no. Crazy man that you are. What? You're without your army right now? Gold? In exchange of what?
We can still be lovers.
No!
What?
Our world is not gonna accept that.
Marriage, why not? You'll trust me now I saved his life.
The first thing you want to do is betray him.
Don't love him.
No. I'm not sure that she loves you. Don't listen to the voice. To the voices. That's what the seer told her, right? Do what you want and what you need to do. Oleg, you prepared something, for sure.
That's a trap.
No one? Town is yours?
Prince Dear, the army of Kiev salutes you and offers you by the grace of God. Thank you.
Thank you, but don't buy that. Not really. Yes. Oleg abandoned Kiev. I can't believe that. That he left it. Why? Because it's easier to attack a town, maybe? If you're taking the town with your army, then he can come with his army and can surround you.
When they had crucified him,
You're there? No army and already crazy.
placed the Greek church against him in the same way.
Is this you, Oleg? Did you order them to crucify you?
He saved others. He trusts in God. Let never ask.
Are we seeing that because you really did it or because you're imagining it like, you know, we know that he considers himself as a prophet.
I'm the son of God.
You're not, and if you didn't die already, you're gonna die soon. Okay, so you really imagine that because you think you're the prophet. You know you lost, Oleg.
My brothers, let us all live in peace together. Igor, I love you like a son.
What, that you were in that case?
And you, Ivor, like a brother.
Oi, I don't want you in my family.
He doesn't believe in love. It's a joke. He's lying.
Maybe he truly loved them, but not the good way.
For everything. Let us live in peace and love. Please.
You're gonna do it?
So let us.
You are letting Ivor doing it?
Take this bow and arrow and kill your uncle.
Oh!
Don't be a cripple anymore.
I love that, but in another hand, I don't like that.
If we don't kill him, he will never be free.
For sure.
You know.
But forcing the kid to do that, it was what Oleg did. Forcing the kid, you know, to kill people. He has to die, for sure.
No, wait. Let me kill him. Let me do it.
Okay, you didn't force him, you were okay to do it for him. I prefer that.
No, Igor! Not you!
I'm sorry.
And he decided. I'm not gonna cry for you. I didn't like you as a man, as a king,
But they know not what they do.
as an uncle. But he was an interesting character, and from his side, you know, his point of view, people betrayed him, he never had what he wanted. I'm not gonna be sad, but I can be sorry. Okay. That was good, you know, for the kid, for what it means for him. The fact that he took that decision, he did it himself. He killed his uncle, but still he respected him right there. He was sorry that he was forced to do it. I like that. I don't like that.